Hi, Chris Ford from ChristianJourneyFord.com here with Step 6 in our Internet Basics course. How do I put up my own website? So to put your own website up on the internet, you'll basically need three things. You'll need a name for your site, domain name. You'll need somewhere to host your site, and you'll need the files that make up your site, the text and the images and video and audio, etc. So your domain name, it's the name of your site. It's what people will know your site as. It needs to be something that's easy for people to understand, is not confusing or complicated. It has to be memorable. And it should either be brand related or it needs to be topic or keyword centric. So for example, CNN.com, we know the brand CNN, we know that's a news site. Trampolinesnow.com, we can guess pretty well that that's probably a site about trampolines. So people need to be able to relate your domain name to the content of your site. You need to register your site via a registrar, and these are places like Riptoit Domains, GoDaddy, Name.com, just to name a few. There are many of those. And typically it's going to cost you around about $10 a year to register a .com name. There are other options around, country domains like .co.uk, .com.au, or .net, .biz, .info, but for most internet businesses, stick to a .com. You'll need hosting. You'll need somewhere to keep your website. It needs to be on a computer that's always connected to the internet by a fast connection. So you can't really have it running on your computer at home. You want to find somewhere on the internet that's dedicated to that purpose. Now you can set up your own web servers, and obviously people who have large internet businesses and corporations do that, but most people will just rent space on somebody else's server, on a server that's owned by a hosting company. And a shared hosting account, that's where you're sharing the server with a number of other websites, will typically cost you around about $10 a month. They vary a little bit, but close enough to $10 a month. And you can use that account to host any number of domains usually. Most of them these days don't have any limit. Another alternative is that you can use integrated site design and hosting services. I'll talk about those a little in the next section. But typically these will cost you 3 to 5 times a shared hosting account, and they'll only support a single site. They can be quite good for beginners because they integrate all of the tools to build your site, deal with emails, deal with sending emails out to a list, and hosting a site all in the one place. But they are quite a bit more expensive, so they may be a good place to start, but as you build your business and have more domains, you'll probably want to move to a shared hosting account. And often shared hosting accounts can also be bundled with other services. So for example, if you're a member of Riptoit, you get hosting included. And lastly, you'll obviously need the files that make up your site. There's a number of ways that you can create those files, and often you might use multiple ones of these on your site. You can use web editing software. So this is like the equivalent of Microsoft Word for websites. WYSIWYG editors that let you create your website. Products like Dreamweaver, which is probably the major one on the market, reasonably expensive but very well featured. Takes a little bit to learn to use it, but once you've learned to use it, it's a great package. Xsite Pro, which is a little easier to learn to use, doesn't have all the features of Dreamweaver. It's really designed for building smaller niche sites, but a very good package. And there's also some free software around, a package called Composer, also known as Enview. It's changed its name. That's free software. It's always under development and always improving, and it's not a bad package if you're looking for something that's free. Alternatively, you can use site building software that basically builds your site files for you. You give it a certain amount of information about what you want on the site, and it creates it automatically. So packages like the Riptoit Site Builder, which will build a niche site for you. The Bands package, build a niche site, which builds eBay e-commerce sites. There are other more generic site builders, often built into your hosting account. You can find a site builder package, again, where it provides, you don't need to build it from scratch. It provides all of the framework for building it. You can use a content management system. For example, WordPress, which is a blogging package, or or Joomla and Drupal, which are full content management systems. What these are software packages that you load onto your web host, and they provide all of the pages and provide you with a control panel in your website where you can log in and create pages, edit pages, add templates, and so on. You can download templates from the web. These are a great way of building sites where you have people who don't know about web design, don't know anything about HTML, wanting to put their packages together. And obviously if you want a blog, then WordPress is the package of choice. And then there are also, as I mentioned before, integrated site design and hosting services, for example BigPixie or Site Build It. And what these do is they bundle together the hosting with the website creation with other services and features as well to provide you with a one-stop shop. They do tend to be more expensive, but for a beginner they're quite good because they do bundle it all together. So now we'll go through each of these three things, the domains, the hosting, and building the files in more detail in later stages, but this just gives you an overview of what you need to do to build a website.